Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop. Get real.
Welcome to DBL, ladies and gentlemen. Jeffrey is back on the show. So good to see you, buddy.
I'm only here like once a week. Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah,
So
I did a little
You were in
Texas tour.
Tell us a little bit about your Texas tour and what it was like.
Yeah, so I went to Texas to promote the show to our sister stations, so we're throughout all of Texas there. Look, I'm already like hitting the point. So we're in 48% of the country.
Wow, good.
71
good prep work.
networks. Yeah, they sent me a whole script. But here, we got a little clip that we put together that it's through my trips from Austin to San Antonio to Houston. So this is Austin right here.
Love Austin.
That's Hannah Rucker from our sister station KVUE in Austin. She took me all around.
Wow.
It got weird. That's Austin's motto, get weird. In Austin, we went to Black's Barbecue, I think my favorite stop.
Yum.
That's Kent Black. He's one of the generational owners. They go back 3 generations.
Wow.
He cut up our barbecue. So then from there, I drove to San Antonio, checked out the Alamo.
Nice.
No basement, if you guys are Pee Wee Herman fans. One person got that. That's cool. So I had to make a little stop, a little detour to check out Austin.
Chill gear.
Yeah, so that's some of Austin, San Antonio's own. So that's Roma from Great Day San Antonio, Audrey, Henry, and Paul. And then I went to lunch with John, Ross, and Don. I got to get a shout out to them. So that's Nympha's Mexican restaurant. Now we're in Houston, speeding through everything.
You.
That's Great Day Houston. That's Deborah. She was amazing. Did an interview with them. KHOU, that's Reka. And she sent me to the Mexican restaurant. So wanted to give a shout out to everybody. I hope I squeezed everybody in. But they love our show. They promote it. They love it. They love you. Got special shout outs. They love you. Got special shout outs. So very cool promotion. And if you guys want to send me on the road again, I'm all for it.
You did like a blitz.
I did.
I mean, Texas is huge.
Texas is huge, but I love it. In between that speed thing I just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would go and get something to eat, stop at local places, take a little dip in the pool, relax, no kids, watch Hard Knocks all by myself,
In silence.
Yeah.
Heaven. It's heaven.
I had a really good time. But yeah, the stations were great. I got to say one thing, Tori, and you're going to appreciate this. Guess who I missed?
Who?
Our old friend who now runs the Houston, Bobby Springer.
Bobby Springer looks like Elvis.
Yeah, so everyone's like, oh my God, Bobby wants to see you. And he's so busy, he runs the whole station over there. So I kept trying to find him. He was in meetings all day. And I'm like, I got to get out of here and go to the airport. And he's like, hey, Jeff, you available? I'm like, I missed you, buddy.
Bobby,
I missed you.
we missed
Wow,
you.
you both are booked and busy. That's the thing.
Yeah, but shout out to Bobby Springer. He was here when we first started the show.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Texas, what is it? Everything in Texas is bigger. Is that it? It's saying?
Yeah, I mean, they had some big drinks probably.
Yeah.
Tex-Mex.
Some good times.
Hey, do you know, okay, this is Jeff being Jeff now. I was at the airport and they had all astronaut stuff, right? And I'm like, oh, is this big astronaut? Is Houston, we have a problem because it's Houston,
Yes,
Texas?
yes, it is.
I realized that yesterday.
And NASA, a huge NASA.
I thought that was just a call sign, like
Nope.
Wolfgang or something.
Houston, we have a problem is Houston, Texas.
And NASA's also in Houston.
See? I don't learn from books. I learn on hand.
From Daily Blast
Houston,
Live.
we have a problem is from Houston, Texas, y'all.
Now you know. All right, so I want to also let you guys know about this. It's big news for us here at DBL starting September 12th. Write that down or put it in your head. We're moving to a new time for some of our viewers. We're also kicking off the 6th season of DBL. We even have this slick new promo, which, oh, whoa, we look fantastic, don't we? Hell yeah. So I wanted to talk to you guys about being on the air this long. And Jeff, you've been there since the beginning, since the audition.
So have you.
And I've been there since the audition. And I wanted to know how much things have changed and evolved for you over the years. And then I want to get Lindsay's take on the show as well.
That was the first time I saw that.
Me too, isn't it cute?
Shout out to the graphics and everybody department. Joel, I'm looking at you, you cutie.
Cutie patootie.
Yes. How much has it changed? I feel like I'm on, because I've been doing a lot of interviews the past 3 days, but we've really just grown as a family, right? Especially over the past 5 years, having babies brought into Daily Blast Live. It's amazing to me. I'm like, wow, we have 3 Daily Blast Live babies. Isn't that
Yeah, it's
crazy?
crazy.
It's crazy. So growing as a family, I think, and just being comfortable with each other is how I've seen us grow over the years. And if you take a step back outside the TV world and just look at us as people, we're like, wow, that's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Lindsay, how do you feel like the show's changed you, or you've changed the show? How do you feel?
Well, I'm the newbie of the group, so I came in and I was like excited for all the animals that you guys had in studio prior to me getting here, but all that's out of the window. There was like a llama on set before.
Yeah, there was a llama.
But there's been a lot of great conversations, and like I said, you guys, iron sharpens iron, so working with you guys every day has really put me in a position where I was very uncomfortable because I had to not only say my point that I had done memorized for 5 hours, then Tori had to come back and I needed a second one, and then Jeff had something else to say, so it really just helped me have a conversation and maybe just get less off talking points and less off of script and more myself, and know that myself is just enough.
It is way more than enough. It's amazing. As for me, I think the show has evolved into a really interesting, nuanced conversation that people feel like they know us. That's what I love. The audience was like, we know you, and that's the whole goal of the show. So yesterday we talked all about, by the way, a stigma that a lot of women experience after they go gray, both in the workplace, but also when they're just out and about. But you would not believe, as I was saying, the feedback we got from all of you, our viewers. Even I got a viewer comment.
Nice.
Thanks. So we wanted to share some of your comments. Sandra wrote in saying, turning 50 in January. Thank you for the conversation about gray hair. I was let go in May and have been looking for employment since. I truly believe it's because of my age, and letting my hair go gray didn't help. And get this, she has, Sandra, 2 degrees.
Wow.
2. Another viewer, Pam, wrote, the minute my coworkers found out I was 50, they immediately treated me differently. And this person commented, most of us are dedicated and more responsible than younger employees. We are not brain dead because we get older. So what do you guys think about all this feedback? Gray hair man, how do you feel about the feel? No, I love his gray hair. How do you feel about the feedback and about what women feel about that as opposed to what a man feels?
I can't obviously speak for women and how they feel, but there was a point in my life where I did dye my hair, right? When it was going gray, I went gray early, and I thought that was because I wasn't getting roles. Again, I always say the famous line, just because I wasn't good enough, you know what I mean? So I had to learn that out, and I just let it go gray, and then I booked Daily Blessed Live.
Heck, what do you think?
I'm happy so many people wrote in because there is power in age and wisdom, and so I always think that everyone in that category should have a job because they are overly qualified.
I completely agree. And experience, that's what...
2 degrees? I think that
right,
speaks,
that speaks
more than your
volumes.
hair.
Yeah, I think so. Let's get it together, people. Coming up on DBL, a man who's made it his mission to help close the wealth gap by putting college dreams in reach for thousands of kids. How he's doing it, one surprise at a time. And are you traveling this Labor Day weekend? The new tool that spells out what airlines owe you if your trip gets canceled or delayed.
I was delayed yesterday.
Were you?
I want my money.
Closed captioning provided by
Hey, just stopping by to say we're taking over. We're mad. Oh, yes. We're taking over. You know what time it is. We're taking over.
For it. Oh,
I'm so
Jody
jealous
got it.
about Jeff. You know I love Texas, so, and I know you had a good time.
I had a good time.
Every time your baby free for a couple days, it's like,
Yeah.
well, not baby, your kids are a little bit older,
Yeah.
but still, I know,
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
kid free,
Right,
and now you miss them a lot.
Just
It's
like
like, you're the hero as soon as you walk through the
Sprawling
door.
out, you know, just sprawling out in the bed. Is
So
like,
Hard Knocks is
great.
your go-to show when you have silence.
Well, each
What's Hard Knocks?
it's
The
a
football, like, documentary.
follows pre-season, and they follow
On,
a different
HBO?
team each year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
pretty good.
Tori, you know what I started watching? This great documentary on Showtime, because I don't have Showtime, but it's all about the Comedy Store. Did you watch it?
You know, Pauly Shore's mom ran the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Mimi Shore.
So
What?
it's called The Comedy Store. If you have Showtime, it was on there, and there's 5 episodes, and it shows like all the comics
Like
and
Robin
the
Williams.
coming and going and how many.
Get out of
It's
there.
fantastic. I went through
Dude.
like 2.5 episodes while I
I
was
spent a
there.
lot of time very overserved in the
lint.
green room of that Comedy Store.
Well, then you would like it. 'Cause
I would.
It's all behind the scenes. It's all the comics.
Or the suite.
And I watched that one
Suite.
night too.
That's
so
awesome.
You'll love it.
It's good. If you guys don't know, in the Comedy Store green room, it's all mirrored.
Maybe just brush it all the same
There's a
way.
piano that's mirrored. There's like mirrored floors, mirrored everything, and it feels like you're in like a cocaine den from like 1973. It's really cool. Yeah.
Go ahead and put that on down.
Was I not supposed to say that?
Is that better?
Yeah, but it's super cool. I'm gonna finish it later this week and catch up on all
rad.
that. But it shows all. I mean, the legends that came out of that place.
The
is
Belly Room,
phenomenal.
Robin Williams every Monday.
Yeah,
he
it's
would
phenomenal.
take over. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And then they wrote their names on the wall, and so like it's a big deal if you become a like a house comic, you get to write your name in cursive on the wall of the Comedy Store, and it's like you see the most famous people.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, you should check that out.
Oh man, welcome back. We are coming up on Labor Day weekend, and for millions of Americans, that means dealing with all the headaches of traveling. Oy vey, which, let's be honest, has been just a nightmare this summer, especially if you were flying. So, the Department of Transportation, headed by one Mr. Pete Buttigieg, is out with a new dashboard for customers. And what it does is it spells out for each airline how they will treat passengers who are affected by delays and cancellations. So you can see if the airline will give you a meal, lodging vouchers for long delays. Speaking of travel nightmares, this woman is going viral on TikTok. She's asking why there isn't such a thing as adult-only flights. She said she would pay so much more money for that. Can you hear the child wailing in the background? So what do you guys think? Oh yeah, you can definitely hear it. What do you guys think of adults-only flight, and also the idea that you can have a little more information about if you skip a flight or delayed? What do you think, Linz?
I appreciate that, because I thought it took a long time for the airlines to do the right thing, and during the pandemic, it was like they were forced to, like, okay, give people their cancellation fees back. Like, we literally can't get on a plane.
Right.
And now that's a thing that, like, happens most of the time. So I'm glad that we have actual rules in place. As far as flying without any children on board, I would be the first one on that plane before I had a baby.
That's what I was gonna ask you
now I just feel sad for the parents when their kid is like suffering on the plane, because I understand that emotion. But before that, yeah, I would be the first one on an adults-only plane.
So that doesn't offend you in any way?
At all. Please enjoy your flight.
Does it offend you as well?
Well, one, first of all, get noise-canceling headphones, since this woman has all this money that she's going to pay extraordinary amounts. Move your to first class, okay? And get some noise-canceling headphones and problem solve. For people who complain about kids on an airplane, I get it's annoying. I am the first person on that plane out of 250 people that want my kid to shut up, okay? I do not want a screaming baby on that plane. So when I see other people dealing with that, I have empathy for them. One time I even went over to a woman, I'm like, and I was flying by myself, and she had a crying baby, and she mistakenly probably took it for me hitting on her. And I was like, do you need help with your baby at all? You know, and she was like, no, get away from me, like creep. Just with her eyes, not with her mouth. But I have empathy, and it's like, listen, if you're willing to pay, go in first class and get noise-canceling headphones. Don't make a TikTok video. We all know the problem. Don't add to it.
I love when he builds.
Yeah.
Would you get on a baby-free flight?
Yeah. Yeah. But
I get it. I get it. You don't have kids. I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
The second I have a child, or if I do have a child, I'll be of course, switch it over. But if it's like a 7-hour flight, I think it'd be nice to have, and you pay extraordinary amount. That's a vacuum in the supply and demand of things.
You know what else is a vacuum? Noise-canceling headphones.
Very nice. Very, very smart.
Yes.
Did you like the Department of Transportation, what you can see?
I do. You know why? Because it lays it out for you and the agents that work there, and be like, clearly, I was delayed. Clearly, it says right here, I need to get this back. Right. So there's no confusion, right?
Buttigieg, I like what you're doing there, buddy, at the DOT, Department of Transportation. We'll be right back.
If you're a Medicare benefit.
President Joe Biden estimates 43 million Americans will get at least some of their student loans forgiven. His plan forgives up to $20,000, but Verify viewer Laura Lee wants to know if that money will get taxed and sent us this question.
This is not forgiveness if you lose part of your income due to taxation of the forgiven loans. Do you have any information regarding Oregon's plans? Thank you.
So, Laura Lee, let's verify. Will people who receive student loan forgiveness have to pay federal or state taxes on that money? Our sources are the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the White House, the Tax Foundation, the Oregon Department of Revenue, and Andrew Lautz with the National Taxpayers Union Foundation. To answer this question, we have to go back a year before the president's announcement. In March 2021, Congress passed the American Rescue Plan Act. This was part of a COVID-19 relief package and stipulated that any debt forgiven between December 2020 and January 2026 does not count as income. Louts tells Verify this includes student debt announced by Biden. So, no, people who receive student loan forgiveness won't have to pay federal taxes on that money. As for state taxes, it depends on where you live. If your state has an income tax, then it can decide whether to tax forgiven debt as income. Laura Lee is in Oregon, and the state's Department of Revenue told us it won't tax forgiven debt. While not every state has decided what to do, no states have announced so far that they will tax the forgiveness. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
What stopped you from going to college? Really? Was it money? Well, that's what stops thousands of Americans every year. But self-made millionaire Pete Kadens is hoping to change that. Earlier, we spoke with him about his remarkable program. This made me sob. Take a look.
My parents weren't wealthy, but they were extremely well educated.
After graduating from college, Pete starts 5 different companies over a 20-year period.
Using a baseball analogy, some were singles, some were doubles, and one was a grand slam.
He builds one of the largest cannabis companies in the world.
We took the company public, and then I was able to retire at the age of 40.
But retirement is a mindset, not a way of life.
Look, I'm a guy who made a fortune in an industry that was built by black and brown people. And the only difference between me and them is I did it under a state legal construct and made a fortune.
With that in mind, Pete starts a nonprofit.
My philosophy on philanthropy is pay it backward. Who were the people who suffered? Who were the communities who suffered so I could succeed?
He starts in his hometown, founding Hope Toledo.
The delta between successful and the less successful was education and educational access.
Pete's program helps high school students find their passion before sending them off to college for free.
We pay for everything. That's tuition, room and board, books and fees, and give them a $1,000 semester stipend.
But Pete isn't done. He sets his sights higher and starts Hope Chicago.
You will go to college for free! Let's do this!
But the surprise isn't over.
Pete left one important part out. Parents, guess what? You're going back to school too.
Oh my gosh, I'm not crying. You're crying.
Oh my
We're all
goodness.
crying. Please welcome to the show, Pete Kadens.
Oh.
Yes. Erica's crying too.
First of all, Pete, I just have to tell you, as a Chicagoan myself, my mother is an educator of over 30 years. Her focus has been on lower quartile, as they call it, students. This is so amazing. I really didn't expect to get emotional because I knew you were coming on, but you surprised 5 Chicago schools with scholarships. How did you pull off these surprises, and how did you get the families to get there?
Well, that's always the secret sauce, working through the principals and administration. We told them, if you blow our surprise, these students may not benefit. We rolled all the people in and all the news cameras in behind the scenes, and we got it done. It was super exciting.
Oh my God, I started bawling when that older woman realizes, and she starts to cry. Now look at me, ridiculous. But I just wanted to ask you about the energy in the room, because we all felt it right when you said it, and she said, you're going back to. What is it like? What do the students, the parents say?
Yeah, I would say, I was a very good high school basketball player. I know that may seem difficult to believe, but I remember running out the tunnel in the state quarterfinals in front of 10,000 people, and that was the most euphoric feeling of my entire life. And I always have been trying to replicate that euphoric feeling for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And that euphoric feeling is the way I feel when I tell kids and families that they're going to college for free.
We need to know right now, how many students have you helped so far?
As of right now, 4,300 people are going to college for free.
Oh my gosh.
And we got work to do. Like I said, we got more money to raise, but our goal over the next 10 years is to send 30,000 underserved families to college or trade school totally for free. If we can do that, we don't just change educational outcomes. And this is the core thing that I want everyone who's listening to remember. We will change societal outcomes. The intractable issues in the south and west sides of Toledo and Chicago, which are gun violence, commerce and food deserts, the longevity gap between the south side and the north side of Chicago. We will close all those gaps.
Can you run for president?
You know what? It's funny. A lot of people say that. I will likely run for an office someday.
Yeah, you should.
But this isn't why I'm doing this.
Right. Okay, so your program not only sends students to college for free, but it also sends a parent or a guardian. Why is it important to include mom and dad in the mix?
I actually taught in the high school that was profiled in 60 Minutes. Johnson College Prep in Englewood. That was part of my journey. When I retired, I was like, look, if I want to solve complex issues, I have to get proximate to those issues. Nothing worse than a white messiah who goes into an underserved black or brown community and telling them what the answers are, right? And so what I did is I went into these communities and I figured out that a lot of what we were doing is we were sending one generation anomalies off to college.
Right.
And guess what? They were never coming back to those communities and reinvesting in those communities. So what I gleaned from that is because poverty is multi-generational, so too does our college scholarship program.
Well said. You walk the walk.
He's got my vote.
I know. DBL Nation, if you want to learn more about Hope Chicago, or if you want to donate to this remarkable program, visit hopechicago.org. Pete, thank you is not enough. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
After President Joe Biden announced his plan to forgive up to $20,000 in federal student loans, many of you began asking us how much the plan is going to cost. Early estimates calculated the government will have to pay about $330 billion. This prompted Senator Ted Cruz to say in a statement opposing Biden's plan that this will cost every taxpayer an average of $2,100. Several Verify viewers then reached out to ask if the plan will raise their taxes by that amount. So let's verify. Will the average taxpayer have to pay $2,100 to cover the cost of the student loan forgiveness program? Our sources are the White House, the Internal Revenue Service Tax Code, Senator Ted Cruz's office, and Andrew Lautz with the nonpartisan National Taxpayers Union Foundation. Cruz's office tells Verify they got that 2,100 number from the National Taxpayers Union Foundation and sent us a link to a blog post written by Lautz. He wrote that if one were to divide an early program estimate of $330 billion by the number of Americans who pay taxes, then the average taxpayer would hypothetically be on the hook for almost $2,100. But that's neither how taxes work nor how the debt forgiveness plan would necessarily be funded, and Lautz acknowledged this in his post. First, taxes in the U.S. are based on a percentage of your income, meaning everyone pays a different dollar figure. Second, since Biden is forgiving the loans using an executive order, he can't raise taxes to pay for his plan. Only Congress can do that.
There are no taxes going up to pay for this policy, but what we do think is important for taxpayers to know is that we all bear the cost of these policies. And so, whether it's through decreased spending in the future, increased taxes, or increased borrowing, taxpayers will ultimately be on the hook for covering the cost of this policy.
So, no, the average taxpayer will not have to pay $2,100 to cover the cost of the student loan forgiveness program. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Many Verify readers have asked us if their loans are eligible for forgiveness, including those who took out Parent Plus loans, also called Direct Plus loans. They're federal loans that parents can use to help pay for their child's college. So we're going to tackle some of your most common questions using these sources. Do Parent Plus loans qualify for debt forgiveness? Yes, if they're held by the Department of Education. To check if your loan is eligible, sign into your studentaid.gov account or check with your loan servicer. Are parents and students considered separate borrowers? Yes, parents with Direct Plus loans and students with their own loans are each eligible for debt forgiveness. Jessica Thompson, Vice President at the Institute for College Access and Success, explained that Parent Plus loan borrowers would qualify for forgiveness based on their own income and loan, while their children would separately qualify based on the same factors. Are spouses considered separate borrowers? Thompson says yes. adding that if the household qualifies by income, each spouse holding qualified loans would be eligible for cancellation. We have more answers to your student loan questions on our website, verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
Do you remember that it's the 1st of September? Can you believe it? We are leading up to the busiest time of year, and these deals we're about to show you are sure to fit anyone in your life. Take a look. Hey, Steph, what do you have for us today? I'm super into shopping right now.
Hey, Tori. Hello, DBL Nation. Let's get started. We've got the Echelon adjustable armband heart rate monitor.
Oh, nice.
So this deal includes one heart rate monitor, and this is the first time we are featuring this product on television, so make sure you get it while it lasts. So normally this is $76, but we've got it for $19.
Oh, brilliant.
Saving everyone 75%. And Tori, we've got the Cook with Colour 18-piece kitchen essentials set. So this deal includes 5 full-size utensils, 1 pair of kitchen shears, 5 mini utensils, and 7 food storage containers with lids.
Nice.
And this set is exclusive to Morning Save, so you will not be finding this collection at this lower price anywhere else. So normally everything here is $84, but we've got it for $24, saving everyone 71%. And Tori, this is the 2-pack of Parsec's wireless LED glow lantern Bluetooth speakers. So this deal includes 2 lanterns. Again, you're only going to find these on Morning Save because they are an exclusive to us. So normally they're $100, but now they are just $39, which saves everyone 61%. And Tori, for our last product today, we've got the Dermalactive 7-in-1 LED Derma Shield for a glowing complexion. So this deal includes 1 Derma Shield, 1 adapter, and 1 charging cable. And this is a customer favorite, and our buyers went back to the vendor to negotiate more inventory and a better cost, because when we win, you win. So normally this is $299, but now we've got it for just $39, Tori.
No way.
So it saves everyone 87%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. Or you see that QR code right on screen? It will take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website if you scan your phone on that. Thank you so much, Steph. Before we go, Lindsay, you have a very special shout out.
Yes, I just wanted to say happy birthday to my big sister, Lauren Granger. She's the best big sister in the world. I call her for all the advice and everything. And, you know, as you get older, when you're younger, you fight. And then when you're older, it's like, I don't know what I would do without you, man.
Lauren, and you guys both have children?
Yes, she just had her second baby. So I have a nephew and a niece. My niece just turned 3. My nephew's about 6 months. And then Kinsley's right in the middle.
Oh,
so they got 3 BFFs.
That's beautiful. Where's she at?
She's in Long Island.
Oh.
Yeah.
Long Island. We love
Long
you,
Island.
Lauren.
That's where my accent comes out.
That's right. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Take care. Have a good day.